Welcome to the Mentor for Moms podcast, episode 105. Do you end up getting one-word answers when you're trying your hardest to talk to your kids? Or even worse, do you get a shoulder shrug or a mumbled grunt as a quick answer? When you ask them questions like, hey, how was your day? Fine. What have you been up to? Nothing. If you too have experienced these short conversations, I say let's put an end to dead-end conversations with our kids. The Intentional Parent card set contains 2 decks. The questions intentional parents ask their kids is one set that has over 40 questions, including mom favorites like 10 questions to ask your kids every year and 5 questions to ask when your kids won't listen. Part 2 of this set helps you to be more intentional as a mom with simple, doable ideas. If you ever find yourself needing a simple suggestion on how to be more intentional, but you want it to be highly effective, grab your card set today. Order your card set by visiting susanc.com/shop. That's SusanC, SEAY.com/shop. This is the Mentor for Moms podcast, the place where you can learn simple, practical tools to be intentional with your family, even when life gets busy. Give yourself permission to take the next few minutes to be encouraged by me, your host, Susan C. You see, I've been in the trenches of motherhood for over 20 years. As a mom of 7, international speaker, author, and certified life coach, my goal is to pretend that you and I are curled up on my living room couch, having a chat about the frustrations as well as the joys of the journey. I'm so glad you're here. Well, hey, and welcome back to the Mentor for Moms podcast. Thanks for joining me here on the virtual couch for another great conversation about the things that matter to us as moms. You see, there's so many other conversations out there about the kids, about the home, about organizing or decluttering or minimizing. And I think those are all great conversations. Amazing podcasts and YouTube channels that are out there available as resources to you. What I love to do here on the podcast, though, is when we get to sit down and we get to chat about things that might uniquely be on your mind and on your heart. Some of my favorites to do are to talk about areas where you're feeling not quite yourself. You're feeling disconnected or removed or just, like, bleh. I don't know how else to say it. Like, I just don't feel like me. I just feel off. Things just don't feel right. Life just feels blah or mundane. And like, why is that? Like, I feel like what I'm doing matters to the family, but I just think I want something more. I feel like there's something in me that's missing or dead, and I don't know what to do with that. What I love to do is come on there, sit with you on the virtual couch, and to give you language for what you might be experiencing, because I believe just giving you that language and that understanding begins to turn the light on, right? Like at the end of the last episode, we talked about coming home. It's like that Motel 6 commercial where they used to say, we'll leave the light on for you, right? I feel like because you come back home when you sit here with me on the couch and those lights come on, it begins to show, hey, there's life here. There's an awakening happening here. There's some transformation and progress happening here. And I am here for these things with you. So I love that the lights are coming on. The ahas are happening. The language is being developed for you. But for those of you who continue to do this work and you go off and you talk to your therapist, you've got clarity around the issues you want to work on. Or if you're working with a coach or you're working with me in private mentoring, where I get to bring my coaching tools and my mentoring experience together for you and create this private mentoring experience for you, wherever that is that you're getting that support from girlfriends, from family members, from phone chats to therapy sessions, wherever. I just love equipping you with the language to have a better understanding of what's really going on, to move you beyond just saying, I'm tired, or I'm exhausted, or I don't feel like me, or something's off in my life. You can begin to say, I'm not connected to myself, and I want to reconnect. I'm in the process of coming home. And people are like, wait, once again, we're going to do like that last time. So you're going to become a stay-at-home mom? Is that what you're all about now? That's cool. And you're like, no, it might. But what it really is about is, in spite of where I work and what I do with my day and my time, it's about me coming home to me. The place, the home that God gave me, this body, this physical body that has a spirit, that has a mind, that has dreams and goals and aspirations and talents and gifts. I'm coming back to get clarity on all that's within me because I've forgotten it as I run off to go do all these other things. I run off to go conquer that hill and ran off to go conquer that hill. And then I kept running off and never really coming back and getting clarity and home. Never coming back and taking care of home. Never coming back and saying, how's the home doing? How are things on the home front? But that's what we do here on the virtual couch. I am someone, when I ask you, how you doing? I really want to know. I really want to know. And I don't want to know because I feel like it's my responsibility to help you solve that. Matter of fact, if you meet me, I keep saying when you meet me in real life and I say, hey, how you doing? And you say, not that great, actually. I am one who said, well, thank you for sharing that with me. That's exactly what you'll likely hear me say. Some variance of that, where basically I'm just saying, I witnessed what you just said. I'm standing here as a witness to what you just said. And here's the thing. I look at you through the lens of capable. I look at you through the lens of this woman is highly capable. I see that in you. Now, you're capable of sharing that with me, but you're also capable of finding the support you need to carry that weight, to get that weight off your shoulders, to get the solutions you need, to get the healing you need. Whether that's with me and working with me privately, whether that's with your girlfriends, whether that's going off alone on a retreat, wherever that is, I just trust that you can find your path. I don't look at you and think, well, here's someone who needs rescuing, or here's someone who needs me to come in and fix their lives. That's why I talk to you the way I do, because I really believe all I'm doing is casting a vision for you, equipping you with the language, giving you some guidelines, and then you can go back and review the podcast and take the notes and sit with the work, or work with your therapist, or work with your coach, your private mentor, whoever that is, and get further support to keep moving and making the progress and the transformation you want. Because that's how we live with confidence in the gap between the mom we are and the mom we want to be. That's how we do that, is we put into action the things we sit here and talk about on the couch. Matter of fact, there is a coach that I know who assigns these podcasts to her clients. She said, go to a Mentor for Moms podcast and listen to episode, and she'll tell them what episode, then come back and we'll work through that. Because she recognizes this is equipping them, and then I get to do my work and support them to move forward. Is that not cool? It's just so amazing the different ways you all use this. Some of you have taken me up on it, and you've actually gathered groups of mamas, and you all listen to the podcast, and then you come together and to discuss it together and say, hey, how do we work through that? I'm actually considering making some type of group like that for moms. You guys reach out to me and let me know if you would like for us to have a Mentor for Moms gathering community, a monthly membership place where you all can come in and we can discuss further what we're working on here on the podcast. Would that support you? Would that be helpful to you? Do you feel like you're trying to do this work all by yourself and like your friends just won't keep up with you on the episodes? Like you're hyped about this podcast and you keep telling them go listen, and every time you check in, they still haven't listened, and you're like, oh, like you're missing it, and I want to talk about it, and you guys don't know what I'm talking about, and so you tell me, reach out to me and let me know if you think that would be something that should be created as a space where we can have a podcast release, and then we can come into the group and we can go on it. We can talk about it. We can talk about how we're putting it into action. You can have some support and accountability to move forward in these ideas. You let me know if that's interesting you. Now, today's conversation, we are talking about the 6 steps to help you reconnect to you again. It's time to come home. So let's jump into it. Step number 1, start small. I want you to think, what's one small thing you can do to feel more alive? What's one small thing that you can do? Is it changing your sleep habits? Is it taking a shower and lingering, or switching up from shower to taking a bath and really soaking in the water instead of rushing through the shower? Is it, a new nail polish? Instead of your typical reds or purples you might wear, you're going to go for something like a bubblegum pink, a neon green, something that's completely different than what you would have done before, but just looking at it puts a smile on your face. Is it time for you to just switch up your purse? You're like, I've been carrying this purse a long time. It is time to get a new one. Or your new wallet. I just did a new wallet for myself. My wallet, I thought, one day I looked at it and thought, okay, Susan, really, how long has it been? Because this thing looks like it has been through the battle. And it has. To be in my purse, it is a battle. Like, I am the mom who is toting the things. I got many things in the bag. So I gave myself a new wallet, and every time I look at it, it just puts a smile on my face. It's a cute little wallet. Nothing super special about it, but it meant something to me to do that. You hear me? That's why I say something small. Sometimes when we want to create change in our lives, we think we must do this massive life change, right? We decide we're going to start eating healthier. So we go to this massive extreme of learning all about a keto diet, which I still don't know what that thing is. And I'm not trying to learn, so please don't send me links and go, oh, you want to know about that? Here, it really helped me. I'm happy for you, girl. Yay. Keep doing the things that work for you. I'm just saying, I know me, that in the past, when I wanted to create change, I always made it some huge monumental thing that needed to shift. If I think we need to declutter the house, we need to declutter the whole house. Let's get it. And then I get overwhelmed, I get tired, we don't finish, and then I just say, here's another place where I didn't finish. Here's another thing, another example of a place where I need to take a L, right? Now I'm saying, as you reconnect to you, what's one small thing? If you could start small, what's one small thing you can do to feel more alive? Step number 2, I want you to revisit your former self. And I want you to name one thing you used to enjoy doing before you became a mom that you would like to start doing again. Oh, this ought to be fun. This ought to be fun. Not heavy. Hear me? Not heavy, not shame-inducing. This should be fun. You know what I used to do before I became a mom is I would fill in the blank. I used to run. I used to dance. I used to go out on Thursday nights with my girlfriends. What is that one thing you used to enjoy before you became a mom that you would like to start doing again? Remember, you can say yes to those things, but you might be saying yes, but differently. So yes, I go out with my girlfriends on Thursdays, but maybe it's not Thursday nights. Maybe now we go out for Thursdays for lunch, and we got the kids. So we pick restaurants where the kids can play, but the moms have time to be with each other. You go, yes, I used to do dancing. Okay, I used to do dancing in the club. Now I'm going to go take Zumba, or I'm going to go learn salsa dancing, take salsa dancing classes, or whatever. I don't go to the same places I used to go. I just want to engage in those activities again. I miss the music and the movement of my body. I miss girlfriend chats and feeling like there's this connecting of our experiences in our lives. And I get to share and have conversations that are, deeper than what I would have with a 4 and a 6-year-old. You know what I'm saying? Like, what are those things that you want to go back and revisit and pull forward into your life today? Number 3, seek support. Life is just better with others. It is. And I want you to give yourself permission to find your people. Here's the deal. Finding your people will be a lifelong pursuit. Why? Because remember, your identity will continue to expand over the years. There will be this expansion of who you are that creates more depth and complexity. So finding your people that fit with that new expansion of you, that new awareness you have of you, of your gifts, of your talents, of the season you are in life, will create this ongoing pursuit to find your people. There will be some people that are with you all the way through. But there are some people that are only with you for a time, for a season. I want you to hold those relationships tenderly. I want you to hold them with an open hand so that you can freely bless people to come into your life and receive them, and release people and bless them as they go on their way. As you continue on your path and your journey, and you bless them to go on and pursue their path and their journey as well. But finding your people will make reconnecting to you so much better, because you cannot know you without people. The more you know about yourself, the more I can guarantee you've had some people in your life who have been helping you to discover that. Because how else do you know you're tall unless you're around other people and you realize, oh, I'm taller than all these other people, therefore I am defined as tall. But then you switch it up and you're in another scenario where you go, okay, I am short because around these people, they are giants. And though I'm taller than that other group I used to be with, now I am not the tallest in the room. How do you know you can sing? How do you know you can dance? How do you know you have rhythm? How do you know that you're funny? How do you know you can cook? Because you've had people affirming that in you. You baked something and everyone was like, my goodness, that was delicious. What in the world? You must teach me how to do that. What is your recipe, right? I always love saying, it's something in your spoon, girl. It's something in your pot, because that was just good because something you put in your special little sauce you put in there, because I followed your recipe and it didn't taste as good when I made it. But that means someone is affirming you in your baking or your cooking or your decorating or your singing or your writing. There's somebody in your life speaking into you. So when you find your people, they will affirm your gifts in you. They will help to call out the gifts, the talents, the unique perspective that you have on this world. They will help you to see it. So if you feel lost, seek some support. Whether that's through a coach, through a therapist, working with me privately, if that feels like the thing that you need to do, let's go. I'm here for you. Let's make it happen. But that support will help you to reconnect to you, to rediscover who you are. Step number 4, I want you to save a date on the calendar. And you're like, oh, is there a date? Susan, is there an event? Is there an announcement happening here? There is, but it's not with me, it's with you. I want you to put a monthly date on the calendar where you go out all by yourself to reconnect to you. Absent of the influence of your friends, absent of the influence of your spouse or your close significant other, absent of your kids, absent of all of that, I want you to see where your feet take you. Do you keep finding yourself wandering into the museums in your area or into the arts and crafts stores? Do you keep finding yourself wandering into the bookstore or going to the local coffee shop and having a seat and just watching people walk by? Or do you find yourself over by the lake or the water in your area, or driving, just getting in your car and driving and feeling the freeness of the wind coming in through the window and the music playing? Or do you find yourself drawn towards places where live music is playing? Or do you find yourself drawn to places where it's quiet? I want you to reconnect to your curiosities, your interests, without the influence of others going, no, I just don't really want to do that. Or, are you ready to go? We've been here 5 minutes. Surely that's long enough. Are we done? Put a date on the calendar, and every month, I want you to take you out. Meet with you. Reconnect to you. Make that an announcement in the family. Hey, This Thursday, it's me, all me. I'm going out for 3 hours to be just me. I love y'all. Hey, but are you going to meet somebody? Yeah, myself. What you going to do? Not sure yet. Meaning you don't have to announce to them. Feel free to make a plan, right? Feel free to buy tickets and go to the comedy show that you wanted to go to because it's funny to you. Maybe your spouse is not interested in it. Maybe your girlfriends don't care for that. And you're like, but this is funny to me. This really says something to me. Because as you begin to pursue these things that uniquely interest you, you are catching a glimpse of, you're starting to awaken that connection. You're starting to come home, girl. You're starting to say, I kind of like this. Or you know what? I don't like this at all. And you have clarity about that thing, and it's good. Step number 5, I want you to make a not now list. Here's what I really want you to do. I want you to make a list of all the things that you enjoy, okay? All of them. I like cotton candy. I like this type of music. I love these colors. I love these smells. I love these sounds. If it helps you, tie it to the 5 senses. I have done this activity. I've talked about this before on the podcast. When I would do home events for moms, so I would gather moms and we would do some home workshops with Mentor for Moms. I would have them do this icebreaker episode. Hello, podcast speak. This icebreaker activity where I would write down the 5 senses, right? And then I would say, I want you to write down something you enjoy about each of those 5 senses. Like, what's something you enjoy smelling? What's something you enjoy tasting? What's something you enjoy seeing and hearing and feeling, right? And then I'd say, I want you to go around the room and I want you to try to find a mama who also enjoys that too. Now, the interesting experience of that was how often mamas would get jammed up just trying to think through, what do they enjoy? And if you're at that place of truly feeling incredibly disconnected, you might find this a struggle. So I want you to just sit with it where you don't feel the pressure if there's a room full of people and people are writing things down and you're like, my pen is just suspended in midair because I don't have an answer. You can take your time with this. But I want you to just write down a list of the things that you enjoy. I enjoy travel. I enjoy hearing certain types of music, or I enjoy hearing the ocean and the waves crashing, or I enjoy hearing birds first thing in the morning, or I enjoy the sound of babies giggling. I do. It always makes me giggle when they giggle. I enjoy, and you just put down all the things that you uniquely enjoy. Okay. Have fun with this. Make that list as long as it serves you. Okay. The second that list starts to become a tyrant of like, oh man, here's all the things I enjoy, but guess who ain't doing these? Like, okay, pause. Activity no longer serving its purposes. Now it has turned into this ugly experience. We don't want that. Okay. So I want you to make a list of all the things that you enjoy. Then I want you to draw a line through the ones that you choose not to do right now because you have other priorities. That becomes your not now list. And remember, not right now is not the same thing as never. So we just draw one simple line through it, which means we can still read it. It still exists on the list. We're just saying not right now. I love the idea of skydiving. Skydiving makes me smile. When I see videos of people who are skydiving out of planes, I'm like, yes. But mine has been on the not now list ever since I became a mom. I always just felt like if something happened to me, because I just wanted to go out and do this wild activity, if something happened to me, I would feel really badly about how that impacts my kids in their childhood and growing up. Now that my kids are getting older and moving about this house, guess what's still on my list of things I enjoy and look forward to doing one day? It's skydiving. And trust and believe, should I still be out here on the podcast and whatnot, when that day happens, I will be posting all kinds of pictures and videos of me skydiving because I look forward to that. It's just a personal decision of mine, a personal priority of mine not to do that right now. I also enjoy creating incredible business opportunities. And there are several opportunities that I have on a shelf right now because I say not right now. because of the time commitment and the energy commitment that those would require, it would pull from my main priority of continuing to homeschool my last 3 kids. So my priority is them. Those ideas, not right now. Do I love launching business ideas? I do. You know how I do it right now? Through others. There are so many other women who are writers and speakers and course creators that I have been a part of their launches. I have been a part of helping them brainstorm their ideas and formulate their thoughts and critiquing their plans. And it helps me feel in the flow of that, but it doesn't mean I need to be releasing that and doing those things right now, because that's on my not now list. There are certain places where I want to go eat. I don't want to spend that kind of money because my priority still involves some other little people in my home who deserve to have the same kinds of experiences and opportunities that I've tried to afford for their siblings. I want to be able to provide it for them too. So I just say, not right now. We don't go, fly to another city to eat right now. Although we've never done that. Hello? Just the thought of it, though, I would like to. I have seen other people do it, and I'm like, that just really expanded my idea of let's go out for lunch. What? Like we go catch a flight and go to a city and have lunch there and come home? Come through. Yeah, come on. I just expanded it for some of you. You were like, I never thought of that either. Yes, like think about that. The first time I saw that happen, I thought, come on and cast a vision for me one day. Because before you think, ooh, that's a super luxury lifestyle, I want you to think about how much it costs to take a flight from Southwest Airlines from one city to the next. You might be surprised at how inexpensive that could be. I mean, just think if you flew on JetBlue. Like, don't think private jet, leather seats. Just think we caught a flight. And if the flight was $25 and we did that thing and we flew to another city, we had lunch and we came back home. Like we created an entire experience, but that might not be a priority. So you go, I like that idea, Susan. I'm going to actually write that on my list. Cool. Then I'm going to put a line through it. I'm going to say, not right now. Now, but for some of you, you like, I could do that right now. Do it, girl, and send me a picture. Come on, let's get it. All right, so make a not right now list. That, first of all, why would we do that as we're trying to reconnect? Because first of all, you're connecting to what do you enjoy. I want you to have clarity in that. That will free you up when it's Mother's Day, your birthday, it's your anniversary, and people are like, what do you want? Go to that list and go, I enjoy these things. Okay, since I said I enjoy flowers, I'd like to actually have you do a subscription for me. And every month there's a new bouquet of flowers coming my way. Or there's a new perfume scent coming my way. Or there's a new whatever. You start to reconnect with the things you enjoy and you have answers. You have language, vocabulary to express that to others. But you also have a way of expressing it to yourself. So for those monthly dates, you go do those things you enjoy. But you also have clarity on what's not right now, because that is just giving you clarity of your season, of your priorities right now. But it's also giving you permission to say, it's just not right now, but that doesn't mean never. Because when we get removed from things we used to love to do, and there's too much time and space and commitments in between that thing and us, we start to feel like we'll never get back there. Our brains go to this extreme and just say, that'll never happen again. I will never travel again, or I will never get to go out to lunch with friends again, or whatever we might be saying. And when we write this on the list and we just say, not now, we're telling ourselves, there's a time and a season and it will come. It's just not now. There's a liberation in that. Okay, step number 6. Here we go. I want you to define your core values. It's so fun for me to work with you all privately. And it's so interesting how many of you sign up to work with me privately and you're not clear on your core values. Super, super important to me. We keep coming back to that because that is what I coach you through. That is what I'm holding you accountable to. That is what is throwing your life off because you're out of alignment with your core values, and you're out of alignment with them because you don't know them. You need some support in that. Go back, way back to the beginning of the podcast, and I give you ways of figuring out your core values. If we want to work through that again, you want to refresh in that, I can do some new episodes on that. I'm happy to. You reach out and say, Susan, do that again. Talk about that again. Freshen up that podcast and let's go. We can so do that because ma'am, that's how I would talk to you if I was looking at you, ma'am, ladies, this is serious business, right? It's so easy to say, know your core values. It's so pivotal to all that we're talking about because I am counting on that foundation being in place because everything else shapes up around it. You have those core values clear and defined, then it's easy for me to be able to say, great, now how are you living those out as you think about your relationship to you? How are you living those out as you think about how you're caring for your kids, your home, the overwhelming circumstances in your life, the activities you're involved in, and your self-care? Remember, that's the acronym for chaos in the Intentional Mom Framework. If you're scratching your head going, Intentional Mom Framework, core values, what? I'm going to guess that you're new here, and I welcome you. I'm so glad. There is a whole process of which we work through here on the podcast, and I look forward to supporting you all in that. You guys reach out. You're like, Susan, let's do a course on that. Let's do a group project working through that and getting clarity on that. You reach out, you let me know, okay? The more you guys reach out to me and let me know what interests you, what would serve you, what would help you, the better I can serve you. Otherwise, I'm going to just keep showing up on the virtual couch and I'll be like, and another topic and another conversation because there's so much richness and vastness in this world that I look forward to sharing with you all. But I also want to move at a pace that serves you and truly is equipping you and preparing you to create the transformation in your life that you desire. Okay? So I want you to decide on your core values. Instead of focusing on your kids knowing them I want you to focus on you living them. And as you live them, then you will share those core values with your kids. So I want you to shift the focus from your kids' behavior to living truly in alignment with your core values. Because here's something really important I want you to know. Your kids' behavior is not about you. It's about youth. Youth, Y-O-U-T-H. It's about them being young and inexperienced and unfamiliar, and you're trying to help them figure out how to navigate through this world as they grow and develop and move through this world and these circumstances and challenges. So their behavior is not directly about you. It's about their youth, and they need you to own your role of leadership as a mother, to help them learn how to move through the changes that are happening in their body and the changes that are happening in this world. You can believe that you make a difference, and I want you to know you do. I want you to believe that you make a difference when you speak up to your children, when you interact with them, when you know your core values, you live in alignment with them, and then you express that to your kids and invite them to live into the core values as well. Is this good stuff? That's the 6 steps to help you reconnect to you again. I hope you take me up on this work, that you go back and you do step 1, step 2, step 3, step 4, and you work your way through it. You won't regret the time you invest in doing that. I promise you that. You will look back and go, I don't know exactly when things changed for me. I don't know when I became reconnected to myself. I just know that I'm back, baby. And I'll be like, yes, girl. Here's a virtual high five. Let's get it. Now, here's where I'm going to land this particular episode. So much of our suffering and hardship and motherhood is due to our resistance. You're like, resistance? Yes, resistance. On the next episode, we're going to talk about how the root of our resistance is due to our battle with self-acceptance in a world that's focused on self-improvement. We're going to dive into that conversation next time. It's going to be good. I look forward to you joining me back here. Until next time, my friend. Bye for now. I hope you enjoyed today's episode of the Mentor for Moms podcast with Susan C. And if you did, would you be willing to share it with a friend? Maybe even the two of you could make plans to get together to talk about the things you heard and talk about ways that you all can live out this concept of today's episode and maybe hold each other accountable. Allow this mentoring podcast to just be a catalyst to start conversations and to begin to create a community within your friendship circles. I would love to hear about how you and your friends get together and what you all discuss and how you're living it out. It would just really encourage me to know that this conversation is not just me and you on the couch, but now it's me and you and your friend in the coffee shop, or your ladies group at the church, or the women in your neighborhood getting together and listening together and really making a commitment to live this out. That's what it's all about. I look forward to talking to you next time. Bye for now.